Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, I've got a post here from the hashgraph which I thought I'd share with you, and then I just want to have a quick conversation. So they say, quote, "The limiter isn't the tech. It's enterprises' comfortability with DLT in terms of privacy, governance and compliance. Enterprises adopted hybrid models through HashVia to combine public trust with private control," unquote. And that's a quote from Eric Piscini through CNN. So it sounds like he had an interview with CNN from the looks of it, and that was a direct quote from that interview. And so, yeah, I think this really does make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. Like I've said this before, the thing about this technology, it is great, but you have got to understand that it comes with its downsides too, right? And so for us on a retail side of things, the benefits is obviously this is huge technology. There'll be benefits in terms of you might be able to earn a yield that's way better than what you could get in your bank account. We'll have to see how that goes because the banks are trying to fight against that. But you can also do things like cross-border payments, which will be pretty much instant and dirt cheap. You'll be able to do like DeFi. So, even if you're not interested in things that you can do via, the normal traditional methods, or, they are banning the stablecoin yield that you can just DeFi with like your crypto token, like HBAR, etc., staking it, that kind of thing. But yeah, like there's going to be different things, many different use cases you'll be able to do through, like tokenization and things like that. That's just going to be way better for retail. Now, what's the negative side for it? Well, the negative side of that is, everything that's done on these, blockchains or hash graphs, it's essentially an online blockchain, right? And so the thing with that is that you can view all this activity. So your privacy can pretty much be dead in the water, because if, let's just say, regulations do come through and it's a thing now of, okay, if you are going to trade crypto or something like that, you need to basically, identify which is your crypto wallet. So let's just say, for example, the bank say, well, we need to know which crypto wallet is yours, for example. So then you give them your wallet address. They can then see all your activity, right? So you won't have privacy. And so obviously that can feel a bit intrusive. And so on the flip side, in terms of the governments, etc., it's the same thing, right? Like it's great that they'll be able to use all this technology and have all the benefits that the technology can bring. But the problem with that is they don't want all their activity to be able to be seen, right? Like that's just what it is. And so HashVia, if you're not aware, it is something that I have covered, but HashVia is basically a private version of the hashgraph, right? And so for governments and, companies who don't want to have all their information public like that, they can use the HashVia because that will be a private version of the hashgraph. So they'll get the benefits of both worlds. Now, again, coming into that, the positive of that is they are using Hedera technology. So if they say, yeah, Hedera is a great network, we use the HashVia, it's really great, does exactly what we need it to, etc., etc., then people will still look at the HashVia as basically Hedera technology, right? And so if they can't use the HashVia themselves, they'll use the hashgraph, they'll just use HBAR, right? And that'll be helpful to them. But the negatives is because it's a private version, like the activity done on the private version isn't going to have any impact on the public network, and that's the one that we're all invested in, the HBAR, etc., because we've got the public network version. So it's not going to have any direct impact on Hedera, the network that we're all involved with and invested in. So as I say, it's pros and cons, but I do think you've just got to understand that was always going to be the case. Like governments are not going to just make all their information public. They're just not going to do that. That was just never going to be a thing. So to me, I look at it as, even if we've not got them using directly the public Hedera hashgraph, at least they're using their technology, and at least they can speak positively on the technology, which could still give people that comfort and, confidence that it's a valuable asset and to invest in it. Now, the thing that I just wanted to have a conversation about here is also just basically the title of like an article within this post, and it says, "Why 2025 was crypto's year of wins, yet its least satisfying victory." And I thought that was a really relevant title. Like I really liked that, and I just thought I wanted to, just think on it, opine on it, right? So let me just share my thoughts about this, because I agree. For me, like I think this, whole 2025 thing, it's been a very weird year for crypto, in my opinion. So let's get into it then. 2025. The reason why I think it was a weird year for crypto is pretty much as the title states. Like 2025 in terms of like understanding crypto's direction and where it was going, I thought it was absolutely incredible. Because if there was any doubt of crypto being here for the long haul, that was removed in 2025. As far as I can see, crypto was solidified in 2025. We know that regulations are coming. We had the Genius bill passed by, which was for stablecoin. So, we could see where things were going, right? We could see that they are going to look to use crypto in the future. It is going to be adopted. We had a, pro-crypto US president, so you could see that they were trying to do everything they can positively for crypto. ETFs were going live, etc., etc. So it was all going well. Yet, we didn't really have the bull run that you would expect. And now, look, I can definitely acknowledge that, in bull runs, you do have diminishing returns. That really is a thing. But to me, we didn't really even have a bull run, right? Okay, you can say Bitcoin had a run. XRP had a bit of a run. HBAR had a bit of a run. And there was a few others. But let's be real, that wasn't... Anyone who's been in a bull run before will know that was not bull run activity. It really wasn't. Yes, we had a little bit of a pump. Great, yippee. But it wasn't a bull run. I wouldn't come out of this and say, yeah, we had a bull run, and it's just some cryptos didn't go off. No, I would say even the cryptos that did go off, even though I wouldn't have expected them to get as high as what they would have in a previous bull run, I still wouldn't have expected the pump to be that low. Because, just taking into account HBAR didn't even hit a new all-time high. So it pumped, but nowhere near to even past the new all-time high, which is crazy. And as I say, I understand there is diminishing returns, but to this degree, is wild. Now, who knows? It has been said by some chart analysts that we are still in a bull run and we are still waiting for that blow off top to happen. I hope that's correct. I don't know. I've also heard other chart analysts say, the cycle's done. We're in a bear market now. We're just going to see how things go. So who knows who is right? But the thing that I will say is I just find it strange that with so much confidence that was put into crypto last year, I don't get why price action wasn't more significant. Because if there was ever a time to be confident in crypto's future, it was last year. And so while I do acknowledge in terms of the October liquidation event, I believe that was manipulated. I'm not going to keep going on about it because I've spoken on it a few times, but I believe that was manipulated. Cool, but I just don't get how the demand hasn't been so much stronger to keep, really blowing off the price levels, really, setting the prices on fire, because there's just so much going on with crypto now that it's if you ever needed that reassurance of when to invest, I would think 2025 was pretty much it. There was so much going on and there was so much clarity to say, yes, crypto as a whole is definitely going to be here for the long haul. And we're seeing all these things happening in terms of crypto adoption. So we can see where this is going now. And so I would just think a lot more people would have been investing to get the prices up. Now, the other thought I will just say that I have is it all manipulated in the first place? Is that what's keeping the price down? Because just bear in mind, when Sam Bankman-Fried had his court appearance, it actually did come out that they were suppressing Bitcoin's price. They were proactively trying to suppress Bitcoin's price. So it is true that these market makers are manipulating the markets. That is a fact. That has been proven. So it just makes me think, is that what's going on here? Are they just trying to suppress the markets? Because remember, just before that liquidation event in October, Bitcoin was at $126,000 and it looked like it had no signs of slowing down. So I get to these moments where I think if that hadn't have happened, where would we be now? Right? And so I do have to question this. I do think it is strange. And in all honesty, I don't necessarily have the answers. But the one thing that I will say is this is why for me, long term, I'm not going to worry too much about what's going on, because for me personally, I do believe the value is going to get there eventually. I don't think it can be suppressed forever. I think eventually you are going to get that, you are going to get that value. It is going to come through. It just may take longer than we've obviously anticipated. But that's really the thing for me. That's the main point to drive home. in my opinion and the way I'm looking at this, yeah, I'd have loved the market to have took off last year. I'd have loved 2025 to be the year that we're all now talking and we've all made our life-changing wealth and we're all happy and it's all great. But at the end of the day, as I've also always said, you don't get to choose when this happens. It doesn't happen just because you want it to. It doesn't happen just because you're fed up and you want it to happen now at this point. It happens when it happens. And so I do think for me personally, I've never lost faith in the bigger picture of crypto. And as I say, from everything that I've seen going on from last year, I've never been more confident about crypto's future. Like I couldn't be more confident than what I am right now. So for me, I'll just say this, like, no matter what's going on, just everything that we are seeing, I'm comfortable, you know, like, so I'm going to wait it out. Like, I'm not telling you guys to follow suit. You guys are going to make your own decisions. It's up to you what you guys want to do. But for me personally, yeah, like, I see everything that's happening and the clear adoption that's going to come with crypto and HBAR as a whole. And I'm just comfortable because I'm just like, yeah, like, this technology isn't going anywhere. So it's not like I've got to worry about it dying out. Now, don't get me wrong. I think if you're invested in the wrong cryptos, then that's a very real possibility. That could definitely happen. But for me, as it stands right now, no, like, I'm feeling good. I've got no reason to think anything's gonna, you know, go wrong. Like, I don't think crypto is just gonna suddenly go to zero or anything like that or collapse. I think there'll be cryptos out there that are scams and are being used for nefarious purposes. Those won't make it, but the others, yeah, they'll be here for the long haul. And for me, I believe Hedera is one of them. So, yeah, I just thought it was interesting to talk about this because I do just feel like it is interesting the way 2025 was such an optimistic year in terms of, you know, just talking about what crypto it will do, you know, long term, as compared to what happened with the price. It's really weird. Like, we had such a good run at the beginning, and then, you know, crypto market just died out, man. And, you know, who knows? We could still be in a bull run. And the blow off top could be still about to happen, which I hope is the case. That's what I would like. But I'm just not losing that confidence because there's so much coming with the adoption side of things. So the value to me is like, it's pending, right? It's gonna happen, but we just gotta wait for it to come to fruition. So yeah, overall, I'm not concerned, but just thought I'd share this with you because two good points in here in terms of, you know, the Hedera hash fear for the governments, etc., you know, trying to use both. I think that makes sense, but also in regards to, you know, what happened with crypto, because I think that's a very interesting topic. And, you know, maybe as time goes by, we'll get a bit more of a clearer picture. But yeah, as it stands for now, I just look at it as the price is going to come at some point. I don't know how long and I don't know how high it will go, but it's going to come. So we just have to wait and see. That's just my perspective. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell. Take care.